Right, hello. Nice to see you. Don't worry, I'm not being kidnapped. I am sat in the back of a transit van, and we've been here at Hooton Park for the first time ever in the GX200 series. And this series is my first foray into kind of like semi-owner driving and mechanics, of which I am not very good, and also setup. And yesterday we were at the circuit, did a full day of setup work, building the kart. I have to admit I was a little bit out of my depth, didn't know what I was doing, but huge thanks to James Cannon, Rich Melton Baxter, Tom Stalker, Andy Hicks, and Jay, and actually everyone here. At one point there was like 5 or 6 people around my kart working, so I really appreciate it while I stood there and stayed out of the way. But yeah, made lots of setup changes. Really difficult day actually. I had no confidence in the rear at all. Probably running the pressures a little bit too low, but yeah, loads and loads learned. So and in the last session of the day actually we made a front ride height change, and it was much better, and for the first time I felt sort of confident in the kart. So yeah, looking forward to today. Again, a little bit nervous. Yesterday I was a little bit overwhelmed. Really haven't ever done anything related to kart maintenance or setup before, but loads learnt. Really supportive, friendly atmosphere in the paddock, so that was really good. And I'll see you on track in a few moments' time. Okay, so here we are. Here's the machine, the number 14. Andy Hicks there, Rich Melton Baxter.
Literally was like a fucking bullet.
Some of the boys.
Alright, so that's quite enough of my face. I promise I won't show you very much more of it. Right, that was our briefing, and so we are now into heat number 1. And we're starting this one in P4. We've got Rich Melton Baxter just on our right hand side there. Tom Stalker on pole. Who have we got? That's Andy Hicks in second. So we are very shortly going to begin our GX200 career, and lights go out as we're off, engine notes rise. We go to the outside, a little bit conservative, but yeah, we just get a bit of a hit on the inside there. So a bit of a disastrous start. It was still really greasy and not easy at all. Lee Jones is there in front of us, goes a little bit wide. There's a big old wet patch in turn 2 as well, so that caught him out. So we've lost 3 positions, but we're back up 1. We've got Brad Philpott on the right, Alex Van Gien on the left hand side. So a good little battle between these two, and as they're battling, we've just managed to come back at them a little bit. Brad running the number 13 there, obviously makes his own luck. Oh, did I just wave at someone there? What was I doing? Obviously feeling like a bit of a smart ass. Brad gets Alex on the cutback, and he points to him. He says, "Go forward. Let's go forward together. Let's see if we can catch the 3 up ahead who did make a good start." So end of lap 1, we've lost 2 positions, and I hit that curb quite hard. You see it really sends us a little bit wide, so not great. And again, they're just so difficult into turn 2. I just went in a little bit too hot and got on that wet patch. Tom Stalker up ahead, he's just on our left hand side now. We go up the inside of him. He has been off the track as well. He got caught out by turn 2, the horrible turn 2 that invites you in and then shows you a very slippery patch which can very easily send you off. And so we have actually gone off a place. Tom was fighting right at the front, so unfortunate one for him there. But what I would say at the moment, looking at this and looking at my driving, it is the same for everyone. The track conditions are cold and sort of wet and low grip. There's Tom, he goes back up the inside. We see if we can have a look up his inside. Again, that inside line, very slippery. Tom's going to get us back. There he is, there he goes. And oh no, we lost 2 places. At the moment, my driving's not terrific. You see I'm doing quite a lot of work on the steering wheel. It does improve, I promise. I don't turn over. Towards the end of the heat, I do get a little bit more heat into the tyres, and I am able to make things work a little bit better. one of the things that I'm going to say, I'm going to talk about GX200, because this is, I imagine, for many people, a new series. In fact, it is a bit of a new series. GX200, run by Access Karting. I'll talk to you more about it particularly, I think, in the final. Because this heat, there's actually loads going on. There's loads of really interesting fighting that we're going to see. So I'll talk about that this here, and I'll talk to you about what I'm driving and how to get involved in the final. If you want to skip forward and hear more about Access Karting GX200, then I'll put timestamps in this video. I don't really bother with timestamps. I'm an inherently lazy individual, but I'll do it today for you. I hope you appreciate all this effort. Anyway, we're in a bit of a train here. As Johnny Elliott, who went past, he was really quick. We had no answer for him, this is a great little battle. But you can see the how not necessarily driving style, but perhaps setup is very different. Tom Stalker's really quick in a straight line. We don't really have an answer for him down the back straight. Now I think I probably need to adjust my driving. We're driving on Honda GX200. That's what I'm calling power units there. It's nice to pretend that you're a Formula 1 driver, isn't it? Yeah, let's call them power units. Yes, the power unit is a GX200. So it's a Honda 4-stroke engine, and if you've been watching my videos, you'll know that I'm more used to racing 2-stroke, and I think one of the things about the Honda engine, it's brilliant because it's so reliable. They just go on and on and on. And in terms of as we're going to hit our first set of back markers now, we need to be really careful about this. Which way are we going to go? Oh no, Rich Melton Baxter's gone off. Jay's gone into him as well. Nowhere to go. Honestly, turn 2, really horrible. It looks like it's easy, doesn't it, watching this back? But honestly, it's really tricky conditions. The power unit, the PU, super reliable. And I know I don't have the speed sort of anymore, but there were people who do have an idea of how fast they were going down the front straight. And we got up to about 50 miles an hour. So same as what I've done in Club 100 kart or D-Max, but it's very similar kind of speeds. They don't feel quite as powerful, but they're super reliable, and these machines are actually lighter. You can see that they're proper racing chassis with the bodywork of proper professional karts. So in terms of lap time, we're doing very similar lap times to Club 100 on the circuits that we visit. So quite a different driving experience. But the biggest thing is that this is obviously an owner-driver event. And I'm just renting this kart for the weekend off Rich Melton Baxter. I have now bought one of Rich Melton Baxter's karts. So and if you are interested, by the way, in renting or buying a kart, Rich Melton Baxter has many karts that he's bought. He's bought a load of Gillards. Give him a shout. Get in contact. Leave a note in the comments section, and I can put you in contact with Rich. Because he might be able to lend you or he can hire you. As Tom looks to remove Alex ahead, hire you a kart. The other really interesting thing about this is it was my first foray into owner driving, and so I was doing all the setup work myself. I made a big mess with the setup. I was doing 2 or 3 different setup changes at a time. That meant I didn't know which one was working, which one wasn't working. We've just got another back marker here that we need to be really careful with. Here we are. We're going to make it through on the inside, are we? I think we're going to be all right. We're still on the inside, so yeah, I think we're through there. Really good little battle this. I really enjoyed it. The 3 of us were very similar in terms of pace. Again, horrible understeer in there. We've got yellow flags. So we've got yellow flags just here. Someone off just up ahead of us. Again, I think that was someone who was behind us. I think there's about 15 people in this race, and this is actually the battle for 4th. The top 3 have gone. This is the battle for 4th position. So yeah, so still all to play for. Actually, 4th position was where I started, so if I can get it back, then yeah, not the end of the world. Yeah, so yeah, setup changes. I was making terrible choices with the setup changes, and I know I mentioned a little bit about this already. The tyre pressures I was running were way too low, and I was also running the rears lower than the fronts, thinking that would give me better sort of traction and better rear stability. And let me tell you right now, that doesn't work. When conditions like this are very cold and it's wet and greasy, you need the tyres to heat up more quickly, and that's why at the start, I'm still doing this a little bit, by the way. I still needed, I think, perhaps a little bit more air in the tyres, because at the start of the heat, I was doing quite a lot of corrective steering. And like I said, that's the same for everyone. At the start of every race, there's always the tyres are always cold. That's the same for everyone. But yeah, in my case, I think I probably did need to put just a little bit more air in the tyres and well, basically just drive better as well. We've got a back marker. Tom goes very conservative and lets us through, basically. Alex loses the rear on the exit on that wet patch. Now he's moving across, but he gives us space, and we're actually through on the pair of them. So really, really good couple of corners for me there. Alex did squeeze me over to the grass, but he knew I was there and he didn't push me onto the grass. So very, very fair racing from him. And yeah, suddenly we've gone up 2 positions. So yeah, great return on 2 corners there. And as we round this the final corner just here, a corner which was probably where I was losing almost all my time, and then this straight, it proved that it was a good time to do it, because that was the last lap board that came out. So now I need to be really, really careful and smooth, and I know that wasn't very smooth, was it? But there's no real choice around turn 2. It's horrible and wet. Just need to be really careful and smooth. Now I did get a chance to have a little glimpse behind me, and Alex and Tom have started really, really fighting. They suddenly now know that it's the last lap of the race, and the gloves are off, and they just need to make the move now, make the move stick. Hand in the air, because we've got a yellow flag. That's someone who's just gone off into the hairpin, and this guy here, this is Seth. He's actually in a different class, so he's on track at the same time, but we're not actually racing him. But there we are. The flag has dropped. So our first ever GX200 meeting is a P4, and I have to say, after yesterday's performance, I was pretty pleased with that. I thought I was going to be last. Honestly, I've just made the kart worse and worse and worse. This beautiful kart is Tom. Yeah, nice little hug there. We had a great little battle. Look at the size of my arse. Oh dear, need to go to the gym. I could barely fit my arse in the seat, actually. It was really embarrassing. Yeah, trip to the gym, I think. Right, okay, so this is heat 2 now, and yeah, bit of an interesting start. We didn't have a great start in heat 1, did we? Just doing a bit of bump drafting on George ahead of us, but here, I'm just going to slow it down. We brake, and so it's all going okay. George just taps the curb there, and like a complete amateur, I just smash into the back of him and turn him around. So George, if you're watching, I'm so sorry, mate. So yeah, terrible start for George, terrible start for me. Obviously there's a bit of karma involved because I'm the one who did it. I got a warning for that, of course. I was a bit caught out actually, because on the braking, normally if you're going to tap someone in the rear, it's you do it on the braking. I actually hit George on the just after the apex of the corner actually. So I don't know if he was delayed somehow, but it caught me out. But clearly my fault. You know, if someone ahead of you, well, sorry, if you hit someone from behind, it's your fault. It doesn't matter if they weren't able to get on the gas like you were expecting. It is always your fault. So yeah, very sorry to George, and for anyone else who had to take evasive for that. We were down to last place. Sorry, second to last. Obviously, George was turned around, wasn't he? So we've got up to. We've taken one position back. We're back up to a little squabble ahead of us now. So as these guys are squabbling, it's given us an opportunity to get onto the back of them. Now ahead of us, kart 28, is Andy Hicks. Mango Mate Hicks, and Andy actually won the first heat with the fastest lap time. So he's going to be a good person to get onto the back of, and hopefully we can follow him through. So I'm going to duck into his slipstream. We're not quite going to make it through on kart 32. So unfortunately we've just lost touch with Andy a little bit there. We brake a little bit early and go for the better apex, go for the better exit, and kart 32 just gets, I think this is Steve, he just lights the rears up on that horrible wet patch that was catching us out so readily in all day really, and that gives us an opportunity to make the move on the exit. But we have lost a little bit of time to Andy. Andy was super quick. He was way quicker than us all day. So if I can get anywhere close to him, then I consider that a pretty good thing. So just whilst we I've got to think really carefully now about how to run the rest of this race, because obviously we have lost quite a lot of time to the front, people at the front. Andy Hicks has made his way past Alex Van Gien. Alex was the guy who we were having that great scrap with in Heat 1, so we know that, I mean, there's a gap at the moment, isn't there, but we know that we're very, very close on lap times, and this is quite a big gap. That he's just like a little speck, isn't he, at the moment ahead of us, so you're going to have to think really, really hard about how we're going to close that gap, what kind of driving we're going to do. And I'm just going to skip it forward a bit here, hang on a second. Okay, so I've actually skipped it forward a lap, and you can see that the gap has kind of stabilised, and I'm pretty keen to try and get up to the back of Alex because we had such a great fight. So what am I going to do? I know, I'll tell you what, I'll smash it across that curb, and I'll pull the chain off. That's a good idea, isn't it? Unfortunately, that is the race done. So as races go, this is a pretty terrible one. Bad start caused by me misjudging it, and then I hit the curb too hard and ripped the chain off. So I was just stuck in the middle here watching people go around. It's a very lonely kind of experience when you stop out on track. And the other thing was, I couldn't really have chosen any further place to break down. So here's me. I finally managed to get the trolley over. I had to push the cart through the long grass. Let me tell you, that is a workout. Lifting the cart onto the trolleys, doing the mechanics, everything like that. It's a significant workout. So I just left this little bit in here as I forgot to turn the camera off. A little bit about equipment that you need. You are definitely going to need one of these trolleys. I was wondering when I was like a teenager and thinking about buying a cart, couldn't I just push the cart everywhere? No is the answer. No, you cannot push the cart everywhere. You need a trolley. You can't work on the cart without it being kind of suspended up in the air. So that was last in that heat. Now, very unfortunately, Heat 3, oh dear, Alex goes round on this is the final now. Heat 3 ran out of battery full, but I think it was a P6. So we had a P4, a last, and a P6. I don't normally film the outlaps, but sorry, Alex. Nothing normally happens on the outlap. I have to say, it is really, really slippery, and I was very, very close to doing that, and someone else was as well. I actually got two wheels on the grass because when I was trying to warm the tyres up, I got a little bit too tail happy and ended up having to correct it and put two wheels on the grass. Alex gets back into his rightful starting position, and we are good to go. So where are we starting on this one? Starting 8th, I think. I'm starting 8th. The final, as we are off. We need a good start actually. The start in Heat 3 was fine. Heats 1 and 2, not great starts, was it? But we've got a good start. Everyone line astern, side by side, and everyone behaving themselves. So yeah, that's good. Tom Stalker ahead of us. Tom from Heat 1 fame. Really good battle with him. He found some amazing pace in this race. You can see a little bit here how he's able to just drive away. And I said to you earlier, you know, we're responsible for our own setups and things like that. And I wonder if I could have been, well, I definitely wonder if I could have been driving this corner here a little bit better. Just trying to square it off and get it straight as soon as possible. But whatever I did, I felt like I was losing loads of time down this straight. Everywhere else, I felt that I was sort of pretty close to the people who I was battling. But yeah, that straight really tough. So I wonder if well, yeah, we definitely need to try and be perhaps a little bit smooth around there. Someone's gone off ahead of us. I think that's Johnny Elliott. So he's gone around. He was one of the quickest. Actually, he got the quickest lap time in this. So he's going to be showing his face again in this video, or this heat, this final, I should say, very soon. But yeah, I could also do other things like, you know, thinking about changing what sprocket size I'm running. If we have a look at it here, I mean that's a pretty clean exit, and look, I'm losing loads and loads of time to Tom and Lee ahead of us. So yeah, perhaps thinking about a different sprocket size, that might have been an issue, but yeah, I mean, there's so many things you can set up on these cars. I've got so much to learn, which is exactly why I wanted to do this race. Lee and Alex has come together there, so that hands us 2 positions. So really fortunate. Well, sorry, I shouldn't say that's fortunate. It's not fortunate for those guys. It's fortunate for me. But yeah, from this point, I'm thinking, yeah, we're going to have a good race with Tom, because we did have a good race with him earlier in the day. But just look at him; he's just absolutely taking off. And yeah, very unfortunately and sadly for me, I can't give him a race at all at this stage of the day, so he's going to disappear off. Now is a good time to talk about GX200 and access karting and what it is. So if you like the look of this, then please do have a visit of the web page. I'm going to put in the description of this video as many helpful links as I can. Alright, so there is a Facebook group where there's loads and loads of information going on. But just for the general idea of this, yeah, we're using these Honda 200 4-stroke engines. They just go on and on and on. They don't need a lot of maintenance. They don't need like ruinously expensive engine rebuilds every 10 minutes. So really good. And in terms of maintenance of the karts, this is really kind of like as simple as it gets. Now, for someone like me with no mechanical knowledge or sympathy whatsoever, it felt at the start of the weekend like a bit of a mountain to climb. But honestly, I learnt so much, and a huge thank you again to everyone who was so helpful in supporting me. I was chatting to Rich Melton Baxter actually a few weeks after we did this race, and he says that one of the reasons that he likes this series is everyone is so helpful, including, by the way, the organisers, James Cannon, James Purchase, who were on hand to help with some maintenance and setup of the karts, to have a chat with, to make sure that everyone knew what they were doing and where they were going. So if you're someone who is really interested in the idea of doing some outdoor karting for the first time, or you've been pretty good at indoor karting, or maybe even outdoor corporate karting, and you're interested in perhaps getting your own kart, running your own sort of setup, then this really is a kind of ideal first starting point. You could go into Rotax owner driving as well, but just at the start of the day, or start of this video, I should say, at the start of the day, I was filming some of the setups that people who have Rotax have, and literally some of them are turning up with teams in lorries. This is far more down to earth. As Johnny Elliott, he goes through no answer to his base, he just drives away from us. As Tom Stalker has been doing as well. The budgets that some of the Rotax guys have got are just out of this world. So again, not only are these karts a little bit more simple to maintain, particularly reliability wise, as long as you don't smash the chain off across the curb, of course. If you're going to do that, then unfortunately you're going to be having a short race like me. But yeah, reliability really good, but also the costs have been really carefully thought about. So the cost of running these engines, not only are they cheap to buy in the first place, but you won't have to do a lot of rebuilds on them compared to, say, a two-stroke. The frame, the chassis, needs to be older than 2018. So again, that's really good at keeping costs down. You can pick up cheap rolling chassis pre-18 for really not very much money, as at least it's going to come through. But we actually, I have to say at this point, Rich Melton Baxter gives us a pushback through. So Rich, this looks like, with the forward view, like not a very interesting race, but let me tell you, two really quick guys behind me, Lee and Richard, they're right behind me. Richard actually pushed me through there, because as Lee and I got together, I then had the inside line to the next corner, and I think Richard made his way through as well. So yeah, I'm working really hard. I know it looks like I'm just driving around, but yeah, working really hard to try and get or keep these guys behind me. So yeah, pre-2018, if you register for the championship, your registration fee is £240, but that includes a set of tyres that the championship will then give you, and you'll run them for the entire season. So you're not having to spend loads of money on new tyres every weekend. Again, there are people in road tax who turn up with a brand new set of tyres every weekend. Again, ruinously expensive. I mean, if you've got the money, like, fine, go for it. But I think for most of us, most normal people, we're going to get pretty tired of sinking hundreds of pounds into tyres and engine rebuilds and maintenance on the regular. These Honda power units, they take just regular petrol as well, so nice and easy. At road tax, you need an oil fuel mixture, which again, I don't think it's rocket science to work out what that should be, but it's just another thing to do, isn't it, that you don't have to do here. But yeah, overall, probably the most friendly and helpful group of people to race with that it's possible to ask for. So really good concept, designed for people who are looking at their first adventure into outdoor karting, who don't necessarily have a lot of the knowledge that's required to run a kart. I literally had no idea whatsoever about karting or kart maintenance or setting up a kart or anything like that, and I learned lots of lessons, some very difficult lessons on the Saturday where I was making a complete mess. But yeah, like I said this already, the reason I wanted to do it was because I wanted to learn. I'm really really enjoying it, and very grateful for the hugely supportive atmosphere in the paddock, and particularly on the part of the organisers who were on hand to do this on the regular. So yeah, like I said, I'm going to put down as many helpful links in the description as possible. What I will also do is I'll put some links to some tools as well, because the guys I was with, the Mango mates, Tom Stalker, Rich Melton Baxter, Andy Hicks, they were very generous, letting me borrow their tools and things like that. But you are going to need some tools. So there's actually some sort of bespoke karting toolkits and T-bars and things like that. So I'll put as many helpful links in the description of this video as possible. So if you are interested in having a go at this, as we've got Lee's another one who's absolutely unlocked some insane pace on that straight. So yeah, very well done. We're in his slipstream now. Can we make a move? We have a look at the inside. We're not quite there, not quite good enough. But he goes a little bit wide on the exit. So can we get him? He's going to have the inside line to the double left-hander though. Can we get him? No is the answer. We go a little bit wide to see if we can get a better exit. But unfortunately, we don't really have a hugely long straight here before we get into the S's section. And this is the last corner. I believe this is going to be, is it the last lap or is it the second to last lap? Is that person waving a waving a flag. I think that might have been the second to last lap. It looks like we're still going as much as we can. Yeah, it does, doesn't it? So yeah, we've got a good run through this corner. Buy the stuff in the comments section, please. I get a very small commission. I feel like I should say that. Yeah, it is stuff. Oh, we've got yellow flags. We almost had a run on Lee ahead of us here. There is the stricken cart on the exit of that curb. So unfortunately, that means that I think unless we can make a move here, which we can't, we get a little slide on mid corner there, which ruins our exits. And that's the other thing. I need to drive better down. There it is. So I think that was a P6 in the final, or was it P7? I need to check. Anyway, these are the winners: Brad, Philpott, and Seth. Congratulations to those guys. Thanks very much for watching.
Thanks for watching Mango Motorsport, a community for racing fanatics.